Peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Welcome to season 2 of Mental Wellness for the Culture. I'm so excited to be here, still part of the culture family, still placing mental health and mental wellness on the forefront for our community. This is our opportunity to interact and engage on the path to mental wellness as a significant and essential part of our culture. This season, we will talk to so many experts, but today I'm excited to talk to Shari N. Warner. She is here with us just to share a little bit of her wealth of knowledge and information about mental health and mental wellness. Welcome, Shari.
Thank you for having me, Belinda. It's so good to be here to talk about just the things that we do to help our people and to help
Absolutely.
promote mental wellness within our cultural
Yeah.
part of society.
Yes, and thank you for making that a part of your life, your life's mission. Full disclosure, I have never met Shari face to face. We are LinkedIn friends, LinkedIn colleagues, but I admire her work. And I wanted to make sure that you and our community knew who she was and knew how to reach out to her and get support as needed. Let me ask you a question, Shari.
Sure.
Serendipity counseling.
Yes.
Talk to me about that name. How did you come up with that name for your private practice?
Oh, that's an interesting story. That word has just kind of stuck with me for years, even before I decided to enter into private practice. I'm not quite sure if I remember when I first heard the word, but when I looked up the meaning of serendipity, I loved what it was. It was a pleasant surprise. And I think about all the times when, you're looking for something that you need in the moment, and then you find something else that you didn't know you needed, but it was like, oh my gosh, here it is. I didn't know I needed this. That's serendipity. So it's
Mhm.
finding something by accident that you didn't know you needed or wanted, but makes you very happy and
I
makes it
love that.
beneficial. Yes.
Finding
Yes.
something by accident, acknowledging that it was an accident, but it also makes me happy. So I need this in my life now.
Absolutely. And that's what I hope happens when our clients walk through our doors. A lot of our clients who come in are intentional about coming into therapy,
Yeah.
but a lot of them are not sure why they need to be here or what they're hoping to get out of it. And then they find this unexpected thing
Mhm.
that enhances their life that they never knew that they actually wanted or needed, but
Yeah.
yet it's here and they're
Mhm.
benefiting from it. And
Yeah.
that's serendipity.
Oh, I love that. Things that they can tap into, that moment of epiphany, that's serendipity. And that's what you provide. That service is there and available for people in our community.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. So here we are in the holidays.
Hmm.
We're almost at Thanksgiving. We're almost at Christmas. We're almost at New Year's. Everything is right around the corner. What are some suggestions for us as we approach the holidays?
I think one of the biggest things that anyone anywhere, but specifically within our culture, because we're so family oriented, whether we are African American or we're Caribbean American, Thanksgiving and the holidays tends to always be about the family getting together, having the big hullabaloo. It's, who's bringing the turkey, who's bringing the sides. If you're from the Caribbean, it's who's bringing the curry goat, who's bringing the
Yes.
fish, whatever it is. But not everyone is happy about spending that much time with family over the
Mhm.
holidays.
Yeah.
Right? And I think a lot of people feel pressured
Yeah.
to go to the big family gathering.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's okay to not go. Like, it's okay if you don't want to be a part of it. There's something about being with family members who you've had no contact, no communication with throughout the year intentionally
Yeah.
because of whatever may have gone on between you and that family member. And for you to sit for 3, 4 hours at a table breaking bread with someone that you don't really have a relationship with and you really don't want to be sitting and eating with, that can be stressful. It can be anxiety inducing. And almost always, somebody's going to end up starting an argument. There's going to be a fight. And then that carries through to the next year. It's
Yeah.
okay to say no.
Mhm.
It's
I love
okay
that.
to
It's
not
okay
want
to
to
say
go.
no.
Right. It is
Mm.
okay to say, you know what? I'm just going to break bread at home by myself and give thanks
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
what I've been through, what I've survived, and just be thankful for what is to come by yourself at home, or maybe with just your intimate family unit, or better
Yes.
yet, with the family that you have created, meaning your friends.
Yeah.
I've
Yes.
noticed that that has been, or it's becoming a very common thing to
Hmm.
have Friendsgiving.
Yes.
And I think that's a wonderful thing, because sometimes the family that you're born into, you're not as close to, and they're not as supportive of you. But the family that you have created with your circle, with your tribe, those are
Hmm.
the ones that you want to feel good spending time with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's okay to say no. I hear you so strongly when you say that. And it's okay to create your own holiday, your own
Absolutely.
traditions, and make that part of your time off from work. You want to enjoy those few hours, those few minutes, those few days when you get a break from the grind.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Yes.
not feel pressured, because sometimes it's a lot. Even if you're not traveling, even if you're just going cross town,
Yes.
it can create such pressure on you,
Yeah.
to fulfill the demands of someone else, because they
Mhm.
like to have this big
Mhm.
hullabaloo for.
Mhm.
It's okay to say no. That's
Let
the
me
bottom
ask you this, Shari. What's some language? What are some words that I can say or I can encourage people to say when they don't want to make that trek across town to be with family? When they're stressed, just start thinking about, oh, I may have to visit with my family for the holiday. What are
line. Okay,
some words, some feedback that we can give to them?
you are stepping into my territory, because I am huge on creating boundaries.
Yes.
That is like, I only work with women in my practice, with
Mm,
adult women. And one of the primary things that I try to impart upon them and help them to understand and to discover is how to set healthy and appropriate boundaries with others. And a lot of people, even though you and I just said it's okay to say no,
yeah,
those two letters are huge, and people have a really hard time saying no. I don't want to
absolutely.
go. No, I'm not coming. And so you find other ways to set that boundaries. And maybe it's, I think I'm just going to spend a quiet dinner at home this year.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or, I'm not really feeling up to being with a crowd this year, so I think I'm going to sit this one out.
Yeah.
But you find different ways to say no without saying no. And it doesn't
Absolutely.
have to be a huge argument. Maybe it's, you know what, I don't think I'll be able to make dinner this year, but if you'd like me to send something over, I can contribute.
Hmm.
What would you like? I can send a pie, I can send a cake, I
Yes.
can send a dish. Or, I can come early and I could drop something off, but I really think I'm just
Yes.
going to sit this one out. It's been a really hectic year for me. I just want to
Hmm.
have some quiet downtime,
Oh, I
you know?
love that.
And, not people don't want to accept your boundaries,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, they don't really have a choice. They're your boundaries. Your
Yeah.
boundaries are not for them, they're for you.
Hmm.
Right? And
Yes.
I need people to understand that when you set boundaries with other people, for whatever
Mhm.
reason there might be, the
Right.
boundary is for you. It's for you to protect your peace. It's for you to
Hmm.
protect your mental wellness,
Right.
right? It's for you to protect your well-being, your stress level, your anxiety, your depression, whatever it is you're trying to protect is
Right.
for you. It's not for them. They don't have to agree.
Absolutely.
They just have
They
to
don't have
abide
to.
by
That's
it.
right. That's right. And if you are having difficulty setting boundaries, I think you're going to have to tap into serendipity counseling and speak to Sherry about you not being able to set these boundaries because it's so important. I think of boundaries as a way of me creating safe space.
Absolutely. That's what it is.
It is, right?
Right. And not safe, like I said, not safe space for everyone, because not everyone is going to want to honor your boundary or
Yeah.
respect your boundary. Because maybe you have created, not intentionally, but maybe you have created an all access pass to everyone,
Hmm.
to you.
Hmm.
And people think that they should have open access to you whenever they want to. Whenever
Yes.
you call, whenever they call, you should answer the phone.
Right.
Whenever they come knocking on the door, invited or uninvited, you should open the door.
Hmm.
But that's not how it is.
Yeah.
You get to determine who has access to you, how
Yeah.
long they have access to you, when they have access to you, or better
Absolutely.
yet, if they have access to
Oh,
you.
there is power in that right
There
there.
is,
I
right?
love
So, even though you want to be friendly and you want to be welcoming and you want to be open to everyone, there
yes.
comes a time where you have to close that door so that you can replenish, you know?
Hmm.
And maybe around the holiday season is when you get to do that,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
Maybe
What are
that's
some
the
things?
time.
What are some things you do to replenish?
Me? I am a very poor example of doing that.
Okay.
However, when it comes to setting my boundaries, that I have stopped attending the huge family Thanksgivings years ago
Okay.
for the very same reason.
Right.
Not that I don't love my family or I don't want
Hmm.
to spend time with them,
Yes.
but I spend every day talking to people, multiple people throughout
Yes.
the day. And after a while, I'm talked out. I don't
Hmm.
want to socialize. I don't want to go out. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to answer my phone.
Yes.
And so I told my mom, I said, Mom, I will come and I will drop something off and I will
Right.
give you a hug and a kiss and wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And then I'm
Yes.
going back home.
Right.
And she's okay with that to the
Hmm.
point where she has now adopted that. And
Yes.
so it's okay. She will say, no, I don't feel like leaving the house. I think I'm just going to have a quiet dinner at home.
Hmm.
But some of the ways I replenish is I love watching Netflix.
Okay.
And anyone who works with me will tell you I take a 2 hour lunch during my
Ooh.
work
Oh,
day.
I like
And
that.
I take 2 hours because I'll use maybe 15 minutes to finish up my documentation, returning
Hmm.
emails. I'll have lunch. I will lock my office door and I'm going on Netflix and I'm catching my next show, whatever I'm watching. And that it takes me out of my reality and
Yes.
allows me to just think about something other than my clients or, office stuff,
Right.
whatever. It takes
Right.
me away for that for just maybe about 20 minutes to a half an
Yeah.
hour so that,
Absolutely.
so that when I come back to my clients, I'm recharged,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And I
What do you
don't
like to
feel like
watch on
home.
Netflix? What are you watching these days?
Whew, K-dramas, lady, K-dramas.
K dramas?
I love my Korean dramas.
Oh, I'm like, what is a K drama? I know what K pop is. I never heard of a K drama.
It's okay. Korean dramas. I love my Korean dramas and their culture is just so different.
Mhm.
And I guess in a way it's educational, but I learned so much about how they treat each other, how
Yeah.
they set boundaries.
Okay.
And it like I said, it takes me away. If I'm not watching a K drama, I'm listening to some fantasy on Audible. And that
Mm.
anything that takes me out of my everyday reality
Yes,
is what I go
absolutely.
for.
I love
It's
that. I have a tendency to go for the old shows. I will watch reruns of Martin, Sanford and Son, Good
oh
Times,
nice. Yeah.
Seinfeld. I never watched Seinfeld when it actually was on, but now
Mhm.
that's in syndication. I watch it every once in a while because I prefer to go to humor.
Right.
There's
Yes.
something about laughter that I think
It's
is
good for the
important.
soul.
Hmm.
It's good for
Hmm.
the soul. Yes. But that's what I would recommend. If people who are looking to replenish, depending on the type of job that you have,
Right.
what is it that takes you away from your everyday reality and
Mhm.
allows you some respite, allows you to rest your mind, rest your brain,
Mhm.
so that you can recharge and go back to dealing with that. And everyone is different. So for you and I, we watch what we watch. For
Mhm.
others, it could be playing basketball, playing tennis, listening to music. There are those people who like to run. I don't understand it myself because I'm not into running. But, I've heard that, for those who run for
Yes,
self-care, that they enter a particular zone that allows them to just clear their mind.
absolutely.
I think that's beautiful.
I do
So
too.
anything that takes you out of your immediate reality and just allows you to rest, anything that's healthy. I'm not
Yes.
talking about unhealthy habits because we can easily fall into those, you
What are
know.
some examples of unhealthy habits?
Alcohol abuse, substance
Mm.
abuse, you know, um, things like that, gambling, which can
Yeah.
become anything that can lead to a negative addictive behavior,
Hmm.
that is unhealthy.
Okay.
Things that allow you to recharge but keeps you still in a healthy space,
Yes.
those are good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I
You're
want to go
welcome.
back to something you said, and I want to make sure I understood you. Did you say you focus on women in your practice?
Yes. So
Talk to me
my
about
personal practice, I
that.
only work with adult women 25 and up, and
Hmm.
specifically with professional career women. And one of the things I've noticed, and my clients span all cultures, but the one thing that we have in common as women are, you know, health issues, you
Hmm.
know, female
Yeah.
issues that impact us,
Yes.
our tendency to be caretakers.
creator. Reggae beats in the building. You already know how I go, man. Authentic jerk chicken. Making me vegan. You know, the best smoothies and lemonades, man. So appreciate the love and support. Reggae beats, doing that.
Our tendency to be caretakers and nurturers and how that impacts us, the tendency to take on more than we should, and that can become overwhelming. And then you have things like imposter syndrome and self-doubt and self-esteem issues. And these are the things that I focus on when I work with the women that I work with. And so I have doctors and lawyers and, judges and so that I work with. And you see these people and they're out and about in the community and they're doing their thing, and then they go home and they're filled with self-doubt and, am I really as good as I think I am? Or is someone going to finally realize that maybe I'm a fraud and I'm a fake? All the things that are in our heads that keep us down. And so I work with these women to help them overcome those things so that they can live in their greatness. Yeah,
because sometimes women, we have a tendency to have that negative self-talk.
Yes.
We're very critical of ourselves. And even though we may go out in the world and present a certain way, like you said, behind closed doors, that self-talk can be damaging.
It can be.
I love that you have opened up a space for women to come and actually work through that, because that's important.
It is. It is. And, segueing into, that is my private practice. I also have a nonprofit, and it's called the Serendipity Women's Mental Wellness Center.
Okay.
And this nonprofit focuses more on women who don't have insurance and can't afford to work with a therapist out of pocket. And so we still provide a space for those women to come in and get the same level of care. Because just because you are not a high-powered female individual in the courtroom or in the boardroom doesn't mean that you don't struggle with some of the same issues, right? So maybe you're a manager at Publix, or you're a manager at a local convenience store, and you're still in some power of authority. Forget all of that. Maybe you're just the head of your household, and that in and of itself is stressful.
Right.
And so the Serendipity Women's Mental Wellness Center provides a space for these women to obtain the same high quality level of mental health care, but at a lower cost, and at times even for free.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I feel like you just shared a gift with the women that are going to be watching this show.
I hope so.
How would they get in touch with you if they wanted to get those services?
So they can go to our website at serendipitywomenscenter.org, or they can call us at 954-641-8464. That's 954-641-8464. Our web address again is Serendipity, SERENDIPITY, womenscenter.org. And through our website, they can send a message. They will also find our email address there, but they can reach out to us and we can help them with services. We actually have a program that we're starting in January.
Okay.
And we have availability. It's called the Serendipity Hearts and Hands program. And it's we have space for 10 women where for a 12-week period, they will have individual sessions, and then once a month, they will have a group activity, whether it will be something to do with artwork or meditation or yoga or walking. But once again, it is for those women who don't have insurance or the means to obtain therapy. And it's for the woman who is overworked and just needs time away, especially that group activity. It's where they can get together with like-minded women who are struggling with some of the same issues that they are, but they do it in an environment where they can just sit and talk for an hour to 90 minutes. And they could just have that time to themselves before they have to go back to taking care of everybody else.
Right. Sounds like a little mini retreat you're creating.
It kind of is. And, it runs for 12 weeks. So once you commit, you're committed for the 12 weeks, and then it starts for another 10, then another 12 weeks.
Now, is this virtual what city is this?
The individual sessions can be virtual, but the group sessions must be in person.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. What city are you in?
We're trying to make it easy. We're in Tamarack.
And Tamarack.
Yeah,
So that's
so
in
this will
Broward
be,
County,
it is in
Florida.
Broward County, right?
Yes.
So, we will try to have the group activities in different locations so that it's not just in the city of Tamarack. We may have it in South Broward, we may have it east, we may have it west, but depending on the activity, we'll determine where we are, and we'll try to make it accessible.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
That's the word right there. I want to make sure people in our community understand that we, meaning clinicians,
Mhm.
women, clinicians of color, men, clinicians of color, are doing everything that we can to make mental health services, mental wellness accessible.
And accessibility starts with awareness. So they
Yes.
have to be aware that we are here
Mhm.
and that we are waiting and willing to provide these services to them. And I
Absolutely.
think even though a lot of these services are out here and available, a lot of people don't know about them.
Mhm. Yes.
So I'm very thankful that you're doing podcasts like this, Mental Wellness for the Culture, so that people understand, like, hey, we're out here. I've
Yeah.
heard people say, oh, I can't find any Black therapists. I'm like, where are you looking?
Right.
Because we are all over. We're like ants. We're all over the place.
We are here. We are here, but you are right. The
Mhm.
culture has made it a priority to make sure mental wellness for the culture is here and has an open platform. And then we make sure that our community knows that we are available to serve them. They can go to the videos and replay this
Mhm.
meeting today with Shari. They can do whatever they need to do with all of the clients, the clinicians that we have been able to interview on the culture. It is so important, and we will keep working to make sure our community knows that mental wellness and mental health is within their grasp.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, I'm trying to do my part as well. So I have my hands in so many different pots. And I think the
Mhm.
one that, other than working with the women, the other one that is near and dear to my heart as a Jamaican is making sure that Caribbean people are aware that there are Caribbean clinicians
Yes.
out there to assist them.
Yes.
Right.
I have heard
And
that and
and a
don't know
lot of
that.
them.
Yes.
We know that a lot of Caribbean people have this stigma against mental illness,
Yes.
and that's because of just how we were raised.
Mhm.
You keep things indoor, behind closed doors. You don't talk about your
Secret.
problems outside.
Mhm.
But that has perpetuated this issue of mental illness that has gone unaddressed for so long.
Correct.
And so a few years ago, I started the CaribbeanTherapist.com, which is an online directory.
Mhm.
And it's aimed specifically at connecting Caribbean people to Caribbean
Mm.
clinicians.
Yes.
And so we've been slowly building, but it is something that I am really going to push heavily in 2024
Yes.
because we have over, I think, 100 so far just in our private group
Mhm.
that are spread out over the US, Canada, and the Caribbean. And
Nice.
these are clinicians who are saying, hey, we're available. If
Right.
you're Antiguan and you want to speak with an Antiguan clinician, you can find us here.
Absolutely.
If you're from St. Croix,
Yeah.
I'm from St. Croix, find me here. So I want Caribbean people to know that there are culturally sensitive and
Mhm.
culturally appropriate clinicians who are here,
Right.
ready and waiting to serve you. And it doesn't matter whether we are in the United Kingdom, Canada, United
Doesn't
States,
matter.
or the Caribbean, we are here.
Yes. Yes. And all they have to do is reach out and contact us and let us know so that we can continue to do the work that we enjoy to do, but also work that we know provides support for individuals and for our entire community.
Absolutely.
That is so important. So important.
Absolutely.
I'm excited that you have the directory because during COVID, my colleague Delphine Jervis and I put together I've got 5 compilation of mental health counselors from Broward and Dade County. And they were able to come on and just speak for 5 minutes. And we still use that. We probably need to update it, but we still use that as a video directory to say that these are 10 clinicians, Black and brown clinicians from Dade County, from Broward, that are willing and able to work with you. You can listen to this in your car. You can listen to this in your home. You can send it to someone else to listen to. But all the contact information is there. And it's just amazing that we continue to try to reach out to those.
And I think And I think we need to connect with one another so that, because I didn't know that you and Delphine were doing this, and you didn't know that I'm doing the CaribbeanTherapist.com. And I have other clinician colleagues who are doing similar things, you know, to let people know that we're out here. And so I think it's important for us to connect with each other so that we can hold hands, because what the motto of Caribbean Therapists Network is each one reach one, right? And if I reach you, and you reach out to Delphine and she reaches out to someone else, then we're all reaching somebody, and it continues to grow in that way. And I think that's what we need to continue doing, because that's how people will know that we're here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely want us to connect, because we have a brunch every year. Just Be the Breakthrough is one of the nonprofits that Delphine Jervis and I have together. And we have a brunch that's just for clinicians.
Oh, really? Wow.
For us to come together and have a day to have a slight retreat, but also to connect and make sure that we can support each other, that we can come together and collaborate, that we can build partnerships. Even young incoming social workers who are just trying to get their license, or clinicians, we have them to come so that we can offer them encouragement. Because we know we can't do all of this work ourselves. I'm getting old. I don't know about you, but I'm like, listen, all of you young people, come on, go to college, go to grad school, get your license. Let's make it happen. So we're going to extend that to other counties. And I want to make sure that you come next year and be a part of that.
Yes, I think I just missed the one that you had in early November, was it? I think.
Yes, we had it July.
Was it July? Okay. Yeah, I think I saw it, but it was something else that was going on. But yes, these are the things that we need to know about so that we can support one another. Absolutely.
So we're going to make sure we stay in touch. I'm so glad you came here and you shared, and I learned more about you than I know from you just from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn doesn't tell the whole story, right?
It does, and I'm really bad at advertising myself. I don't market myself the way I should, because I'm busy doing other stuff. But
don't say that on the culture. They'll come get you and make sure you're marketing promo correctly. Don't say that.
I know. I really have to do a better job of that. But sometimes, you know, this is something for us as clinicians. Sometimes we get so engrossed in the thick of what we're doing in helping others that we forget that we have to work on ourselves, and we have to put ourselves out there, because who's going to know that we're here doing what we're doing if we don't tell people about it?
Exactly.
You know, but we're not very good at talking about ourselves. I know I'm not.
But you did an amazing job today telling our entire community, the culture community, about yourself and your work and your commitment to this work. But I have a few questions just to make sure that they understand who you are. You ready?
Sure.
What is your favorite juice?
Oh, my favorite juice. Well, it used to be grapefruit juice, but I can't have that anymore. So I don't know. I'm not really a juice drinker. I like iced teas.
Ooh, sweet tea or flavored teas?
I love flavored teas. I'm now into the Publix flavored teas, and so I sample all their new flavors as they come out.
Yes.
And so my latest with them is that cranberry hibiscus white tea. Love it.
I have not seen that because I'm addicted to the green tea. And I cannot. I'm zoned into that whenever I go. I need to try something different.
Try something different.
I will
whenever they put out a new flavor iced tea, I'm like, okay, let me grab one of it and see how it is. And if it's really like it, I'll continue buying it. But yes, I'm not much of a juice drinker. I prefer iced tea.
Iced tea sounds good to me. What about your favorite dessert, cookie or cake?
Okay, so
what just happened?
Yes. I'm not supposed to be eating sugars but when it comes to the pies,
yes.
Okay, so I'm an all-around apple pie girl, but when it comes to Thanksgiving, it's a toss-up because I have to choose either the sweet potato or the pumpkin. So I alternate every year.
No, ma'am, it's never a toss-up.
It's not a toss-up.
No. Sweet potato always wins, and I don't know who eats pumpkin pie but you.
Well, sweet potato won this year, so I have a sweet potato pie waiting at home for me. But yes, I love pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie. Love it.
That sounds good. Just one slice, because you said you're not supposed to eat the sugar.
One slice that I would admit to.
One slice. Okay. Share with us your favorite, most memorable vacation.
Oh, that would be shortly after I got married. I went back I'm from Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Mhm.
And we went back home to visit my grandmother. But rather than staying in the family home, we stayed at a hotel that was very close by.
Mhm.
And okay, everybody's like, oh, staying at a hotel in Montego Bay. But so this was a hotel where a lot of people from the village that I grew up with,
Mhm.
they got their first jobs at the hotel.
Okay.
My mom used to work at that hotel
Wow.
before I was born.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
it was really good to go back there and to be able to stay at this hotel that my mom used to work at. And
Absolutely.
the
Full
hotel has,
circle.
pardon me?
Full circle.
Full
Yes.
circle.
Yes.
And the hotel has a restaurant attached to it. And I remember as a little girl, um, driving by that restaurant, and
Mhm.
especially in the evenings, they would have it all lit up and it would look so fancy. And the restaurant was called the Ambrosia.
Yes.
And I always said one day I would love to be able to eat at the Ambrosia. And so
Wow.
on that vacation, I was able, my husband and I, to have dinner
Mm.
at the Ambrosia. And for me, that makes it the best.
I love it. I
Hmm.
love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Some of my favorite vacations have been in your home country of Jamaica. I love
Oh,
that place so much.
it
Um,
is beautiful.
it is beautiful, the water, the food, and even
Mhm.
staying at some of the hotels that are in the villages are more.
Yes.
It's better than the Marriott and the Ritz. It's just having that connection to the
Yeah.
people and eating the food and just being right there in the water. I've said this before, with mango juice dripping down my arm, standing in the water. That's my
I
joy.
mean, that says it all. The
Yes,
sunshine, the water, and mango juice just dripping. Yes,
that's it.
that's it.
That's
Absolutely.
it. So thank you so much for coming to Mental Wellness for the Culture today. You have brought us joy. You have given us information. You have given us things to think about. You have given us things to do, such as setting boundaries and allowing the word no to be an answer to every question when it comes to your self-care, your mental wellness, and your mental health. We look forward to continuing to work with you on other platforms, and we will see everybody at the next segment of Mental Wellness for the Culture. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be.